Hey everyone, thanks for joining me here today. My name is Tijana, and today I will take you through a little bit different practice. In fact, we will be doing a Yin Yoga like practice today. This means we will spend quite a bit of time stretching in each posture. We will be using a bolster and a cushion or a block as our help if necessary, and if this feels better and smarter for you, then you can always feel free to use it. Otherwise, if you don't think it's needed, you are always very welcome to do it without any props. In general, we will be stretching and relaxing our body, so that means that it's a great practice if you want to unwind after a busy day, or maybe you want to do it just before bed for better sleep and restore your body. That being said, let's start. So please come down on your mat, sit on your lower legs so we can find our first position, which is going to be a child's pose. And also have nearby your bolsters or cushions or blanket or any kind of other prop that can support you throughout this nice stretch practice. So let's start. Opening the knees quite wide. Toes are touching in the back, big toes. And then I can already use a bolster if I want to place my body over it, relaxing my whole torso into the bolster. If you don't need a bolster, you're fine going without it, then just place it out to the side and find your child's pose without the bolster. As we go through the practice, try to really slow down your breath, to deepen it every time as you inhale and also exhale all the way, emptying your whole trunk. Try to deepen the breath, sending it into the belly, expanding your body in space with inhales. And breathing. Now let's walk our hands to the left side towards our left leg. So I bring my torso over the left leg as well, and I place my right hand on top of the left. Keep on breathing. Let your right hip drop down towards the right heel and towards the floor. So you can feel a nice opening and a stretch in the right side of the body. Going from your hip all the way to your shoulder. Really dropping everything on the ground, being quite passive and trying to find that comfortable stretch, comfortable position. Try not to force it. Now let's walk our hands to the other side, passing through the center and walking the hands further over to the right. This time placing the left hand over the right. My torso goes over the right leg. I try to keep on sending my left hip towards the left heel, opening that side of the body. And one more time, not force yourself into a stretch. Try to find that nice sweet spot that feels like you can stay there for a long time. We want the body to restore, not to stress more. and breathing. Let's slowly come back into the center. Finding that child's pose once more. So we can maybe already feel the difference between before we went sideways and now. And maybe the sides of the body feel different, right and left. Just try to be an observer in this practice. Observing your breath, observing the movement, and observing your body, and at the same time respecting its limits. Now let's come up into all four with an inhale and just try and stay here for a moment in the neutral position. If you need to stretch one leg after the other from child's pose, just to get the blood running again into your legs, go for it. Otherwise, try to keep this neutral position. Just observe your body. One more deep inhale here. And exhale. And then we are gonna walk our hands towards the shorter edge of the mat and drop our chest down towards the ground. Depending on your flexibility on your neck or your shoulders, you can choose to place the forehead on the ground on your mat, or you can also place the chin. I find the chin less comfortable, so I always go with my forehead down to the mat, and I try to let my armpits open up towards the ground, my rib cage. I let the gravity pull my rib cage down towards the ground. Keep on breathing. Heart opening pose. Two more deep breaths here. Exhale. And slowly find your way up. Bring your hands under the shoulders and slowly find that tabletop one more time. Take another moment here just to observe the difference in the body, upper body to the lower body, shoulders to the hips. From here, let's bring our right foot to the front between our hands. And let's try and drop our hips down towards the mat. You can bring a bolster close to you. If you need yourself to be a little bit higher, you can support yourself on the knee and on the bolster. And if you feel like you want to go a little step deeper, maybe you can place also a cushion under your hip, so that you can lean into the cushion and maybe try and lower yourself down on the bolster. Letting your right knee reach towards the right shoulder on the outer side of your body. Keep on breathing. Let your hips rest in the cushion underneath you. So the cushion and the bolster can take all the weight. You can find that nice spot that feels supported, but still does a nice, pleasant stretch. One last breath here. Now let's place the left hand on the ground so we can come slowly up. Keep your props as they are. Place the right hand on the right knee. Flex the foot so you can let the knee drop away from you. Lean even more into the support under your left hip, and then try and go into a twist around the right shoulder. Keep on breathing. Look behind you and around the corner. Nice. And come back in the center. Just push your props to the front for a second. Actually, keep your cushion nearby so we can try and find the floor with our pelvis. We'll go a little bit further front. We can try and sit on our cushion, bending left leg, keeping the right leg stretched, and staying here. If this is enough for you, if you want to go a little further, then you will remove your block and you try and find the floor with both of your sit bones. Keeping your back straight. You can also play with the position of your right leg. Maybe your knee has to go a little bit more in or a little bit more out in order for your hips to feel right, and in order to find the floor with your both sit bones, or to have no pain in the knee or your ankle. So it should be absolutely pain-free. If there is any tension, please elevate your hips so it is better and safer for you. 2 more inhales. And exhale. Then from here, you can place the cushion behind you, right next to your back. And then you can slowly walk yourself a little bit further back. You can stay on your elbows here. Or if you feel like having a little more intense stretch, then you can relax your torso over the cushion and find the ground. This is a quite intense stretch, so try and respect your limits and be honest with yourself of how much is the right dose for you. Another deep inhale. And place, if you are in a little arch, place the hands next to you. So you can lift the head slowly up, pressing with the arms into the ground, coming a little bit higher. Removing the cushion or bolster, whichever one is that you have. And then I shift my weight to the right so I can open my left knee and find the floor with it. Very nice. Now here I will use my bolster again, if you want, and place it either on the leg or a little bit on the inside of the leg. You can adjust and search for the right position for yourself. I like to put it right next to my body, and then I like to try and lean into it, maybe lifting one arm up towards the ceiling, relaxing the head over my side of the body, dropping it to the right. Stay here for 2 more breaths. And then if you feel like you can remove the bolster, maybe just let the body drop however far towards the right leg. One more inhale. And with an exhale, remove the bolster, maybe drop it to the side. Placing the arm on the ground and trying to let my body sink a little deeper. Maybe I keep the arm facing up towards the ceiling, or if I want a little deeper stretch, I try and reach with my arm overhead. Maybe even grab the foot. If you reach for the foot, make sure that your left shoulder doesn't drop down and close to the floor. But on the contrary, try and open it up towards the ceiling. So in my case, it is better if I stay with the arm reaching in the space, as I can open a bit more my shoulder. Next inhale, let's come back up to the front and just stay here upright and observe the left side, how it feels, comparing to the right side. Maybe the left side is a little bit longer, has a little bit more room. And let's roll the bolster to the side for a moment, so we can find that tabletop again, very carefully. And let's switch sides. We are going to bring the left foot forward to the beginning of the mat. Then we are going to bring our bolster closer to us and place the cushion on top as well. I keep my shoulders open and the chest reaches to the front. I find a very nice connection of my hip with the cushion, and then either I stay here, sinking a little deeper in the position, or if you want, you can lower down towards the bolster, letting the left knee this time fall to the side of the left shoulder. If this is too intense, of course, you can always go back to the supporting yourself on the bolster, maybe resting your elbow on the knee. And if this is enough, then you stay there. And if you feel as you stay in the position, you can go a little further, a little deeper, and still keeping it on that nice and pleasant level, then you can always deepen the stretch and go a little further down. Keep on breathing, and as you breathe, maybe pay attention to the differences between the right and left side. Maybe check with yourself how this same position felt with the other leg in front. Store many emotions in our hips, so it is always nice to give them a little extra attention and maybe stay a little longer in the stretch, just because then we can release whatever is not necessary anymore. Sometimes this release is also subconscious and we are not really aware how much of emotional tension we've been keeping. But after the practice, we feel better. So the result of us feeling better is actually the release of these unnecessary emotions that we store. Now let's place the right hand on the ground. Still keeping that right hip in the connection with the cushion, I push my left knee away and I try and come into a nice twist around, giving my weight into the support underneath me. Really, really, really letting go. Looking around the left shoulder. You can keep your eyes closed, of course, if you want. Now let's come back into the center and shift the hips to the back. This is the place where we want to bring maybe our cushion with us so that we can find it with our pelvis. Maybe you need to shift yourself a little bit more forward. And if this feels good enough, then you stay here. Keep your back straight. Again, adjust your knee maybe a little bit more in or a little bit more out, depending on your structure. Everybody is different. And if you want a little more intensity, then you will carefully remove the cushion from beneath you. Find that nice spot where you can sit. No pain in the knee, no pain in the ankle. Keeping my back straight. Trying to find the floor with both sit bones. Focusing on the breath. Two more breaths here. Some noise from the outside, but we try to stay focused on ourselves. And with the next exhale, we try and bring our bolster or cushion closer to our pelvis. Of course, you always have the version to stay here. And if you're looking for a little deeper and intense stretch, then you will slowly find that support with your back into the cushion and maybe with your arms, and you stay here on your elbows, keeping your chin towards the chest. And in case you're looking for a little deeper stretch, then you can carefully let go of your arms to the side, opening the chest and dropping the head down. Hopefully finding the floor with your head. Keep on breathing. Letting all your weight into the support beneath you, which is the cushion. Enjoying You don't necessarily have responsibility of holding your own weight, but actually your weight is supported by your prop. Another deep inhale. With an exhale, try to bring your arms closer to you in case you have them further to the sides. Start lifting your head slowly, finding the weight of your body in your arms, slowly pressing up, coming back into the seated, and then leaning to the left so you can free your right leg. I will just turn around so you can see me better to the other side. We have the left leg stretched and the right leg is bent. And now I have my options to bring my bolster with me, find that nice connection of the bolster in the side of my body, and then lean. I can even support my head with my arm. Reach with the right arm up to the sky or even over towards my left arm. Or I can stretch the left arm all the way down, the rest my head on my arm, and then keep my right arm up towards the ceiling, or even bring it over the head. I will do like we did on the other side, reaching up towards the sky with my right arm. Keep on breathing. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Then if you want, you can remove the bolster so you get a little deeper experience of this stretch. And again, here you can support your head with your arm, or you can just let it drop down towards the ground and bring the arm overhead, or even reach with the arm towards the foot. Reminder not to drop your right shoulder down towards the ground, but actually open your chest up, reaching, really feeling this side of the body stretching. So in my case, again, it is better if I keep my arm reaching to the sides and trying to open the shoulders a bit more to the back and up towards the ceiling. And then with the next inhale, I try and come out of the position, coming into the center and just feeling again the difference. Hopefully now my right and left side are a bit more balanced as I also stretched the right side of the body. And then I'm gonna open up this right leg. So I'm facing the long side of the mat. And I'm gonna take my bolster closer to me, maybe bringing it all the way until it touches my belly. Maybe I'm gonna place the cushion underneath it. And then I'm gonna try and drop my torso over the bolster, coming into a forward fold. Another option is that I keep the bolster all the way down. I place my cushion up and on top, and then I try and lean with my head into the cushion, and maybe I support myself a little bit with my arms. But as always, I try and find that nice, sweet spot where I can stay a little longer, and I can relax and give my weight into the cushion. You can also place it very close to your body on top of the bolster, kind of pull it towards you and then lean into it and relax your upper body over it. Staying here for 3 more breaths. And if at any point you feel like the body opened up a little bit and you have that little extra room where you can still deepen the position, then feel free to remove some layer. So maybe I will get rid of my cushion for a moment. And I try to rest my torso over into the bolster. I'm being alert and aware how my legs feel, the back of the legs and the hips in particular. So your hips, I don't want to overdo them and over push them. I want to give them the right stimulus. Another deep breath. And slowly pushing your body up with your hands so you can walk it back. Put the bolster away to the side. Maybe bring your legs with your arms in towards the center. Lean a little bit to the back into your arms so you can just do windshield wipers with your legs to counter this nice and deep stretch that we just did. Nice, and then let's face again the shorter side of the mat with our legs. Stretching the legs in front of us. They can be a little bit wider open. And one more time, taking the bolster with me, helping maybe myself with a cushion underneath, bringing the bolster close to my body, and then I relax over and I find the bolster with my forehead resting my whole body and my torso over the bolster. This would be version number 1. If you feel like you don't need an extra support of the cushion, just put it to the side and try and relax yourself over the bolster. And on the contrary, if you feel this is not enough support for you, you need better, higher support, you can turn the bolster the other way around, place it diagonally towards you, and then lean with your head into the bolster and just stay here. Absolutely any version that you feel right for you this moment is a good choice. I will try and remove bolster and I will just keep the cushion so I can rest my forehead in it. Relaxing the legs, the whole upper body. You may feel a stretch in your hamstrings, in the back of the legs, or maybe even in your back. So from the hips up towards the shoulders. It depends. We're all a little bit different. Somebody feels it more in their legs and somebody feels it more in their back. Breathing to let go, bringing the oxygen into the body with an inhale. Letting go through an exhale. And come back into the center carefully, releasing the position. Placing your blocks, bolsters, or cushions to the side. Let's reach with our arms forward. The legs are still stretched, and let's just roll down towards the ground, controlling the going down with our abdominals very gently reaching the floor. Very nice. And let's grab our feet so we can find happy baby. You can grab your toes. Your toes or the outer edge of the foot if you want. Dropping the shoulders down to the mat, or even if this is too much, you can grab your ankles or the lower leg and let the knees drop closer down towards the ground. So pick whichever version you want for yourself, and we stay here for a moment. Breathing. You can rock side to side if you want in this position. Or if you like, you can stretch one leg at a time. So you feel how that goes. Is there space for it or not? Without forcing, just a little checking sideways, right and left. Maybe even both legs if you want, if this works for you. Otherwise, feel free to stay in the happy baby as we did before. Keep on breathing. Sometimes the grip is slipping a little bit. If you need to readjust, go for it. And then come back together with your legs into the center. Hugging the knees to the chest for a moment, very brief moment. And rock sideways a little bit. Now let's do our last stretch for today, which will be a little twist. So I'm gonna come on my back and I'm gonna cross my right leg over the left and then let my knees, before I let my knees drop to the left, I'm gonna shift my pelvis a little bit to the right and then I'm gonna drop my knees to the left. The arms can be in a cactus shape or just stretched to the sides. And I can be looking towards the right arm or just staying in the center. Of course, also here we have the option of using a cushion, for example. So I can let my knees drop on this cushion and come into a nice twist. Take this as step one. Relax in the position. Let the right shoulder drop down towards the mat. We stay here for 3 more breaths. So if you want to remove the cushion or adjust the position, now is the time. Last exhale, and we come back into the center and adjusting the hips back into the neutral, undoing the legs so we can just drop them side to side like a little windshield wipers before we switch sides. All right, let's meet in the center again. This time I'm gonna cross my left leg over the right and I'm gonna shift the hips slightly to the left. And then I'm gonna put my cushion on the other side. And drop the knees to the right. I have this first step of the cushion supporting my knees. And if you don't need it, just go directly to the ground. In this case, let your left shoulder sink down towards the mat. Inhaling into your rib cage, feeling how it expands in the space, and then how it drops down into its neutral position as you exhale. Stay here for another 3 breaths, but if you want to remove the cushion, go for it. Keep on dropping the left shoulder down and deepening the twist with your exhale. One last breath. Inhaling. And then with an exhale, carefully come back into the center. Bringing the legs up, shifting the hips into the neutral, undoing the legs, and again, a few windshield wipers over here. And then let's stretch our legs along the mat. Face your palms up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders and relax the back, and find the Savasana to close this practice. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. Keep on breathing, keep on paying attention to your breath. Let go of any tension in your face, the space between the eyebrows and your eyelids. Relax the tongue inside of your mouth. Maybe the teeth go slightly apart, so your mouth is gently open. exhaling. You can feel free to stay here in this position for a longer time. If you want to remain here, go ahead. If you would like to close the practice with me, then slowly start bringing the movement in to your body, into your hands and your toes, your feet, wiggling them around, finding maybe a nice stretch and a yawn. And then rolling yourself to one side, either right or left, your choice. From here, slowly bring yourself back up into a seated position. You can still keep your eyes closed if you want. Any comfortable seated position is good. So try and find one for yourself. Let's place the hands in front of the heart and take a deep inhale and exhale through the mouth. Here, let's bring our hands to our forehead, to our head, connecting the heart to the mind, and then mind to the heart. Namaste. Thank you for joining me in this practice. I hope you feel nice and relaxed and your body is stretched and opened up. And maybe you will have a very nice night of sleep after this stretch. So I wish you a lovely evening and a good night. See you in the next one.